Good morning. In today's world, if you observe, the statistical data is going to be presented in different forms. And one of the best form to present the statistical data was in a diagrammatic representation. So the diagrammatic representation of the statistical data is very attractive, and it will give lot of the data and it can be easily understood. If the data was huge, that can be presented in the form of diagram and converted that huge data into a simple form. This is the use of diagrams. So what actually the diagram means in statistics? The diagram is a visual form of presentation of statistical data. The diagram refers to there are different types of diagrams that can be used, like bar diagrams, circles, maps, pictorials, and cartograms. So as a whole, in simple, if I want to say what actually the diagram was, I can say that diagram is a presentation of statistical data. When it will start? So the diagram presentation will start after collection of data. After collecting the data, after classifying the data, then we are going to go for presentation of data. There are why it is important to present the data in the form of diagrams. We can present the data in the form of tables also. We can present the data in the form of diagrams also. Why it is important to present the data in the form of diagrams? It is, as I told you in the introduction, these diagrams are very simple, attractive, and easy understandable. Suppose I want to know the production that has been taken place in the last 5 years. If I present, after collecting the data, classifying the data, if I present the data in the form of graphs, I can easily understand in which year I got more production. Because if you use the bar diagram, the bar which is going to take more height, the year, that particular year will have more production. So by seeing the diagram, immediately we can recognize in which year we have got more sales. Not only that, the diagrams will give you the quick information. As I told you, if you see the diagram, in that particular rectangular bar, you can mention the total production in 2012, in 2013, 2014, 2015. And by seeing the diagram, we can say that which year got less production, which year got more production. It is a quick information. You don't need to go through complete data. The diagram itself says which year got more production. That is what quick information. And not only that, it helps to compare the variables here. Suppose I have drawn a diagram related to the cost of production. So I have used again bar diagrams. By seeing the bar diagram, if one bar diagram is more height and another diagram is taken less height, then I can easily find out by comparing. Suppose for an example, if you take January 2022, my production cost was 1 lakh, and in February 2022, my production cost took 1 lakh 80. In March, my production cost increased to 5 lakhs. So here 5 lakhs, 1 lakh 80, 2 lakhs. By comparing the variables here, the cost of January 2022 is one variable, and the cost of February 2022 is one variable, and the cost of March 2022 is one variable, and the cost of April 2022 is one variable, and the cost of May 2022 is one variable, and the cost of June 2022 is one variable, and the cost of October 2022 is one variable, and the cost of November 2022 is one variable, and the cost of December 2022 is one variable, and the cost of January 2022 is one variable, and the cost of February 2022 is one variable, and the cost of March 2022 is one variable, and the cost of April 2022 is one variable, and the cost of May 2022 is one variable, and the cost of June 2022 is one variable, and the cost of July 2022 is one variable, and the cost of August 2022 is one variable, and the cost of September 2022 is one variable, and the cost of October 2022 is one variable, and the cost of November 2022 is one variable, and the cost of December 2022 is one variable, and the cost of January 2022 is one vari The cost of February 2002 to 22 is another variable. The cost of March 2022 is another variable. So by comparing the each variable, I can find out which year, which month my production cost has been increased. And that can be done very easily through the diagrams. And these diagrams are very much helpful and useful and suitable for the to explain the discrete data. Once the suppose if I read 10 pages of book and I have seen 4 or 5 diagrams, the diagrams which I have seen will create a great stable impact in my mind. When I read 10 pages, that won't give that stable impact, whereas when I see 4 or 5 diagrams, these 4 or 5 diagrams is going to give a stable impact on me. There are certain limitations are there for the diagram. Diagrams will always show approximate value. If you want to get exact value, I just told you one bar is having more height, another bar is having less height. By seeing that, I can know that yes, this particular year I got more sales. This particular month, my cost of production increased, but I cannot get the exact value by seeing that diagram. So diagram shows approximate value, and diagrams is not useful for further analysis. As I told you, my cost of production was increased. Suppose for an example, by seeing the diagram, I come to know that my cost of production was increased in the month of March 2022. Now I want to find out why it was increased. By taking the diagram into the hand, I cannot find out why it was increased. If I want to go for further analysis, I have to use either graphs or else I have to use the table values for further calculation or for further analysis, so that I can find out the other reasons also why it was happened like that. And simple diagrams like bar diagram, pie diagram, all these can be understood by common people. But some of the diagrams which are more multidimensional, which consists of which is going to present the data about multiple items, that cannot be understood very easily because it was limited to the experts. All the details you cannot find out by seeing the diagrams. Diagrams are mainly useful for the comparison. There are certain rules that need to be followed while you are constructing the diagrams. You have to give a suitable title for the diagram so that it can be understood. I have taken 2 examples when I was explaining. One is about production cost, another one is about production. If I won't give a suitable title, that particular diagram belongs to production or production cost. It is difficult to find out. So only it is required to give proper title, suitable title for the diagrams whenever we are drawing the diagram. And we have to keep in mind the size of the diagram, because in the diagram we are going to show the important characteristics of the diagram. We are going to emphasize on the important characteristics of the diagram. You have to keep the size of the diagram into mind. It should not be too big and it should not be too small. And whenever you are drawing the diagram should emphasize the important characteristics of the data. You have to maintain proper length and breadth to get a proper size for the diagram. Thank you.